Hello everyone. In the previous class we discussed loop unrolling where we had considered the example of data packet checksum and we assumed that number of words in the packet is a multiple of 4. So there are two questions you need to ask when unrolling a loop. That is, how many times should I unroll the loop, and what if the number of loop iterations is not the multiple of unroll amount. To start with the first question, you have to only unroll the loops that are important for the overall performance of the application. If not, the unrolling will increase the code size with only little performance benefit. And the unrolling may even reduce the performance by forcing still more important code to be removed from the cache. Coming to the second question, where the number of loop iterations is not the multiple of the unroll amount, if this is the case, then you may have to add the extra code to take care of the leftover cases. So this may increase the code size a little, but it keeps the performance high. So consider this C routine, that is checksum underscore v10. This is the version 10 of the checksum problem we are discussing, where this is going to handle both the cases where the number of words in the packet is multiple of 4 as well as the number of words in the packet which are not multiple of 4. You can observe there are two for loops being used, where first for loop is used to handle the case where number of words is multiple of 4, and second for loop for handling the number of words which are not multiple of 4. That is, the leftover cases can be handled using second for loop. We'll see example number of words to trace this code. Before that, you please try to go through the loop header. First for loop header is for I is equal to n by 4. This is the initialization to the I variable that is done, and it is a decrement loop. I not equal to 0, I minus minus. And 4 times the summation operation is repeated. That is, we are unrolling the loop 4 times here to handle the number of words which are multiple of 4. And the second for loop, the I variable is initialized with n and 3. I is equal to n and 3, and test condition is again I not equal to 0, I minus minus, where this is again a decrement loop. This is to handle the leftover cases where one time the summation operation is executed. So what you can observe here is the second for loop is written to handle the remaining cases where n is not a multiple of 4. And one more thing you have to observe is both n by 4 and n by 3, these two expressions can become 0. So that's why we are not using do while loop in this case. Instead, we have used for loop. Say for example, if there are 23 words in the data packet and they are to be added. So in that case, so coming to the first for loop, what will be the value I is initialized with? It is 23 by 4, which results in 5. That means first loop is repeated 5 times so that 20 words can be added. So you can observe in each iteration 4 words are added, and if the first for loop is repeated 5 times, then it will be total of 20 words being added. Now we need to still more add 3 words. So totally 23 words are there in the data packet. So first 20 words are added using the first for loop where it is multiple of 4. And second for loop, what is the initialization done to the I variable? I is equal to n and 3. So here n value is 23. That is the number of words in the data packet we have considered. So n and 3 means 23 and 3, it results in 3. That means second for loop is executed 3 times so that leftover 3 words will be added. So this is how the data packets which are of variable size, which are not multiple of 4, can be handled here. And to give examples for the cases where n by 4 and n by 3 can be 0, if you consider the number of words in the packet is say 3, in that case for the first for loop, if you check for the if you do the initialization I is equal to 3 by 4, then I value will be initialized with 0. Is 0 not equal to 0? No, 0 is equal to 0, so the test condition fails. So that means if there are only 3 words in the data packet, then first for loop will not be executed, only second for loop will be executed to handle the number of words which are not multiple of 4. And another another example, say number of words is 4. So in that case, the second for loop will not be executed, where the first for loop index variable will be initialized with 1, I is equal to 1, that is 4 by 4 means I will be initialized to 1, and 1 not equal to 0, yes it is true, and this 4 times some operation is executed, so that 4 words in the data packet are added. So only one iteration is sufficient to add the 4 words in the data packet. And you can observe for this case second for loop has not been executed. So these are few cases for handling the size of the data packets which are not multiple of 4. So this completes loops, how to write the loops efficiently we have discussed, and to end up we just discussed loop unrolling, and if the number of words in the data packet were to be multiple of 4, how we are going to write the routine, and if it is not multiple of 4, then how we are going to unroll for the data which is multiple of 4 and which is to handle the leftover cases. So coming to the summary of writing the loops efficiently. So these are the points which you need to remember with respect to the loops. So go for using the loops that count down to 0, and use unsigned loop counters with the test condition as I not equal to 0. And when you know that the loop is executed at least once, then you go for do while loops. It is going to save some cycles. And finally, unroll the important loops to reduce the loop overhead. Okay, so you have to arrange the array such that the number of elements in the array are multiple of 4 or 8. So these are few points you need to remember with respect to the C loops. So in the next class we'll discuss register allocation and function calls.